Hey, everybody. I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
and this is Volume Up by the Tees. All right, Jeff, I got to tell you something. I'm looping back on it. Everyone's sick of hearing about my woo
No,
and
nope.
woo.
Do it. Do it.
But, okay, this morning I took a little selfie, was feeling cute. I'm in my Ralph
hmm
Lauren Eric, if you can't
hmm
tell. See, I'll just
Wearing the
stand
polo
up
bear.
for got
Hmm
the belt buckle on, sound effects. And I texted to my friend in Arizona, mind you, we hadn't talked, nothing. And I get back a photo of said friend in the same outfit.
We got
Same
to make
day,
sure
same
that this is
outfit. I don't know
clipped.
if we can
Yes.
see
Yeah,
that.
no, it's
But
the same.
anyway, she
Yep.
cute, I cute. It's all coming back to me. It's all coming back.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
You really, this manifesting era, we talked about synchronicity, and here it is. Wow.
Just putting it out there. Okay. Not a coincidence. It's a
We don't
mirrored
believe in that.
event. It's a psychological state in a good way.
All right.
Okay, all right. Enough of that. I had a little girls' weekend. Well, just one night in Chicago on Friday, and it was
Uh-huh.
a blast. So,
Good,
two
good, good.
things. Number one, sorry, mom, hearing it here first. Your girl got a new tattoo, and it's so cute.
It is
It's a
really
tiny
cute.
little bow for the
Bring
listeners
it
and the
closer to the camera.
readers.
Let's make
There
sure
it
that this gets
is.
clipped
She's
too.
so cute. And I'm just
Perfect.
in love with it. I think it's beautiful and it's just very me. And I wanted
It's
it.
so on
So
brand.
when I was holding a martini, like, come
hmm
on, like, I'll
No, it's
give you a
perfect.
photo. It's just,
hmm
and so that was one. The second one is we were talking
No,
about
wait, hold,
beauty.
wait, wait, hold,
Okay.
wait, wait, hold it really quickly. Because you're plowing through lots of life changes.
Okay.
With said girls, did they
Mm-hmm.
get matching, coordinating,
Yes. So
thematic
no.
tattoos? What was the
Okay.
was everyone getting tattoos? Because that's
Okay.
also interesting to me.
Three of the four gals did. My friend Anne wimped out. Hi, Anne. You wimped out. My
Sorry,
friend Tiff
Anne.
got a little bird right up here, and it's adorable
Oh.
because she likes birds. Hi,
hmm
same. Wasn't opposed to
Same.
that.
hmm
And then my other friend, who I'm not going to say because I don't know if her husband knows about the tattoo
Oh,
yet. So
oh,
the other friend got
don't blow up her spot.
her dad always called her Birdie. And so she had three little
Oh.
bird feet right here. And so I was the only one not getting a bird, which now that I say that out loud is kind of
That's
ironic.
wrong. That's wrong.
Um, but
You
yeah,
just got to
and
go
we
back and
just
get another one.
we're gonna make it an annual thing.
Make
So sorry
a
again,
card.
mom. Don't tell dad. He'll be mad, mom. Just don't tell him. He won't see it. But although it's pretty noticeable.
He's gonna see it.
So
Oh, I loved it. I love this journey.
yeah,
Let's
it's
keep
been a
getting
journey.
tats. Mm.
Getting tats. So then we talked all the way down and all the way back, which was lovely. And we were talking about beauty products because I'm always the one kind of the beauty product whore,
Sure.
that
Yeah.
like
Mm.
brings out the new stuff. And I whipped out something from my purse and I slathered it on my lips. And they were like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "What?" Guess what it was? It's like a something that you could rediscover.
Rediscover.
Yeah, like
So we're not talking about like a Laneige lip
no,
balm, lip mask,
no.
a Carmax.
Yes, it was Carmex. It was Carmex, the big old pot of it, and I just
Of the big tub, not like the little
no,
subtle.
the circle one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And my friend
sometimes.
said, "Well, that rips your lips apart." And I was like, "That tracks because I feel like once I use it, I can't stop. It's like
Mm.
so addictive. Have you ever been addicted to
Oh,
a
for
lip
sure.
product and then you're
So
just screwed? You're just like, it's over."
yeah, I mean, I currently have the Starface little weirdo ones that
Yeah.
I dogged, but then I like can't stop because I like the way that it feels. But I remember I was an early adapter to one of those
Oh,
CBD. I think it might have been THC.
what?
Was it CBD?
THC
It must
lip
have been.
gloss?
It was some sort of. I think it must have been CBD. Anyway,
I
this was a
think
while ago,
they had to
and
be
I
CBD then.
got fully hooked on it. I loved it, and it came in like a little cool branded pot.
Yeah,
The little pot. So yeah, I
you've
identify with
been
that.
there. How
If
did you
you,
get off it? Asking
it
for a
kept
friend.
asking for a friend. It was too much of a hassle to keep replacing them because it wasn't
Okay.
like an easy be able to purchase
Yeah, it's just
them
like you
in
can't grab
a,
7 of them at
yeah,
Walgreens like
which
I
is what
do.
needed to happen because, you know,
Hmm.
you lose it. And then it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was a lot of responsibility of like trying to remember and all that shit. So,
So I've got one at my desk, one in my car,
of
one by
course you
my
do. Of
bed,
course you
one
do.
one in the
And that's what
living room,
happens
the
when it's
kitchen,
Carmex.
the
You just get them
bathroom.
willy-nilly.
Yeah, and you're just
Stock
like, I
up.
guess I actually got the pack on Amazon, which I know we don't like Amazon, but like come in a 10 pack, like saran wrapped together.
Wow.
And I'm probably the only
Wow.
one that
The
buys
wholesale.
them in bulk.
Okay, so how are you finding that it stacks up performance-wise to so because you
I love
also
it.
are on the prestige end
I'm
of
on that
purchasing. So
Laneige
you
Prestige end. I also love that too, but I feel like Carmex really just gets in there and like helps my hydration.
wow. You
Yeah,
contain multitudes.
I do.
Look at this.
I'm high low, Jeff. I'm high
Mm,
low.
mm.
Hmm.
As we all should be,
Yes, we
you know? I
should be.
mean, if it
Just a
works, it works.
reminder that
I
not
so
everybody that wears a rhinestone collar has to have prestige products.
it's this conversation is making me think of and it's always coming back to the Real Housewives. So at
Mm,
BravoCon,
yeah.
Heather Dubrow made comment about like things that people need in terms of like upkeep for their faces and
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
And
Yeah.
she mentioned that really the best thing you can do for like under eyes is Aquaphor. And like it's not
What?
gonna be a like $500 whatever
No
cream, but like the
way.
straight up just globs of Aquaphor under your eyes at night makes a huge
Oof.
difference. Was this co-signed by her physician husband? Can't say. I mean,
Fair.
how much do we
Although
believe her?
physicians like Aquaphor. I mean, your
They
wife likes
do. My
Aquaphor a
what my
lot,
she
I'm
swears
sure.
by it.
I bet she's
We've
got a
got
whole tub that she
we
dips
have the
in.
big ol'
Yeah.
the big
Finger marks
ones.
in there. Mm-hmm.
We've got the sticks, we've got the little tube, we've got them everywhere. So yeah, now I'm thinking about that. Like maybe just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's
You
bad.
should try it. Why don't you try it for like a solid 30 days and report back?
Okay.
I
I will.
can't. Here's why.
Go on. That was quick. It's
The
not
whole
gonna be
time you were
me.
saying it, I was like replaying it in my mind,
Good
like,
for
I
you, not
gotta,
for
that's not
me.
gonna work for
Okay.
me.
Why? Why?
I think that um I don't want to say the oil and it would
Sure.
take
Yeah.
my eyelash extensions off.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's a valid concern. We
I
okay.
thought of it
Now I totally get
immediately.
it. Yeah, you don't we don't want to fuck with
No,
that.
we're not
I
fucking
don't
with
have that to
that.
worry about, so maybe I will. Maybe I will. We've got plenty of it, Lord knows.
Just give it a little whirl. Just
Yeah.
try it for
Can't
me.
hurt.
That
Can't
like a
hurt.
30-day,
Okay.
like December 1,
I'll get
clock
on the
it.
Aqua 4. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. We'll
I like
document this
that.
journey.
Um, Another thing that I was talking with the friends about is how we hate to go to the grocery store. Do you?
Yes. Who likes going?
It's awful.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing that really pisses me off at the grocery store? I feel real strong about this.
Shit. I have no idea where you're going with this, so lay
Okay.
it on me.
Listen up. Listen up, moms and dads and people who go to the grocery store, all of
Hmm.
us. Nothing pisses me off more than when a mom has a baby in the cart, like sitting,
Hmm.
and they're eating an opened banana.
Hmm.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
why?
do they
Why?
get to
Why did
unwrap stuff?
oh that okay, all right.
No, no, it's a
Sure,
banana from the
sure.
store
Yes, of course.
that
They're gonna
they've
pay for it.
opened.
Uh-huh.
No, 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 but here's the thing. The
Oh.
banana's gonna weigh less.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Mhm. I don't
Yeah.
like
You're
it.
by weight.
That's
Yeah.
not playing by the rules. I don't like it.
That's fair. Do Grocer?
Hmm. Watch out, Whole Foods. I'm coming for you.
So you're looking out for big grocer. You're Jeff
Yeah, I
Bezos. You're like,
am.
look,
I'm not that I
we've
even
got to.
care about Big Grocer.
No, I know. Of course not.
I just think it's savage.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Have
So,
you ever thought about that? Probably
I mean,
not.
so like what I will say is that I'm guilty of some of what you're. So we would never eat bananas. No,
Oh,
no, no. So let me clarify.
okay.
I have been known to bribe my children with like the yogurt pouch things while we're
Mm,
grocery shopping,
don't like
but you're
that either.
paying for the pack, the whole thing. You're
That's
not paying by
fair.
weight. So
That's
I,
true.
I'm sort of making it okay in my brain. Um,
You are
but I thought you were going to say something about like hygiene or something.
in the grocery store.
Like the weight. Not that when you're like,
Oh
oh, when
no,
they've
about the
got the
banana.
when the yeah,
About the
when they're eating
banana.
the banana, I thought it was gonna go in a different direction. I was not I didn't think that
No,
it was gonna okay.
no.
All right,
And
well
I
now we
bet
know.
now everybody knows.
Now Does this bother anybody else, or is it just Kelly?
Well, I told my friend about this. We were chatting about it,
And
and
what
they
did
were
they
like,
say?
they thought I was totally psycho.
They thought you run well.
And then one of them said, "Why don't they just go to the bakery? They always give you a free little cookie."
Oh, not at Whole Foods.
I don't know about that either. I've never
I
gotten a
don't.
free
I was gonna say
cookie.
I've never known, never known Big Grocer to be so charitable. Nobody's giving out. Maybe they are.
Anyway, anyway, that's that. So that's the thing.
All right, well, let's shift gears here and get into our celeb photos of the week. Let's let the people know. So we've got a number of people. The whole get here is that we've not seen these pictures. I think you guys know this. So we're gonna see
Hmm.
them in real time. These are gonna be linked in our Instagram and they're gonna be in the show notes as well. So let's do this. First up, we've got Tessa Thompson. She's in Cutter. Tessa Thompson, the actress and director. I think she just had a directorial debut,
Oh.
if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, here she is on the reddish carpet with a designer, and she's
Mm.
wearing this really incredible sort of
Yes.
sequined
Mermaidy,
paillette. Yeah, stunning. And she's got this really
strapless.
beautiful updo. So
Hmm.
are they hair bows? Are they? I mean, it's a updo that's the sort of sculptural bun. I can't
Yeah.
really get my
I I
head
think it
around
kind of
it.
looks like a bow, like a structural bow with her very dark hair slicked back to a bow atop her head. And
It's beautiful.
I mean,
I'm
don't look at my bow tattoo and tell me I don't like a bow hairstyle. I do. It looks good.
I mean, she looks stunning. She always
She's
looks really,
stunning.
really good. I'm just trying to figure out. I wish she hasn't posted pictures of this, so I can't get a better angle. But I love this
Evaluate it.
look.
Truly, yeah.
No, I just want a closer look at it because it is stunning.
I do too.
It's like a 9 for me. Like
Yeah.
this is up there.
Straight up. It's a 9 for me too. She nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. With that
Obsessed.
soft look,
No,
and
I
the
know
look
it's.
needed something
I wonder
dainty
who
on
the
the
hell
top.
did it. Hold on.
Yeah. If you did this, like hit us up. We want to
Yeah, let
tell you
us
how
know.
great
Let's
you
talk
were.
about it. She had a switch in her team recently.
Oh, I love that you know that. Look at you, editor in chief, just super dialed into the teams, right?
Yeah. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that this person is the one who did her hair, so I'm not going to say it. But
Okay.
yeah, because this other person did a similar sculptural updo,
Oh,
different. So I'm wondering, but it doesn't
if
look
it
like
was
he.
tracking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm not gonna name drop anybody, but I do. I really love this. This look is stunning. So all right,
Great
starting off
job.
strong. Next up we've got Maria Carla Boscano. Is
Mm-hmm.
she also at this event? She
She
is. She
is.
is.
She's there. There are, again, lots of layers in this
Yes, the
event.
model. I mean,
Hmm.
she's like one of these. I guess supermodel's the wrong for because I don't think people know her by name, but she's been in every campaign for the last two
Yeah.
decades ever. I mean, she's an icon in fashion. She's wearing a beaded headpiece in addition to
Hmm.
having her hair down in a sort of wet look. Dark, dark, dark brown, maybe even black hair, plus this piece. Normally I don't love this like bodyguard
Headpiece.
moment,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh
but
God. Taking that back.
it's the
Wow.
bodyguard. You know
It's the
exactly what I'm talking
bodyguard.
about.
Yes, I know
You know,
exactly what you're talking about.
um,
Huh.
I don't usually like them, but this feels fun.
I think it feels fun because kind of when she turns her head to the side, it looks like it has
Hmm.
like a slight greenish shimmer on it.
Uh-huh.
And I like that they did the hair wet to kind of mirror the top of the, what's it called again? Headpiece?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. Beaded headpiece.
Beaded headpiece. And I like that her dress is like dripping in beads too. So the
Yeah.
whole look works for me.
Lots of
I mean, it
continuity.
wouldn't work for me personally because I would look like I just got out of the shower, but
A very glam shower though, I think is
glam
the vibe.
shower.
I
Hmm.
don't yeah, I think her hair otherwise is kind of shit. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie. Like it
okay.
I think
It's
that
not, there's not much
no,
happening.
no. I
Yeah.
mean, like the wet look, we've seen it a million times. Like it's kind of stringy.
Yes.
So I think like this actually saves it. So with that said, it's like a 5
Okay.
for me because if she didn't have it, it would look like garbage. But with it, it's like a 10.
Hmm.
So I don't know how to evaluate
Yeah.
this one.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
I like it. I like it something different, you know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Again, like let's be weird on the red carpet. Let's like,
Let's get as
life's
weird as
boring.
possible. I love
Okay.
weird. In fact, you know
Speaking
what?
of,
In fact, you know what? My kids tell me I'm weird all the time. And I said, that's exactly what I want to be. I want to
there
be
you
as
go.
weird and interesting as possible. It's cool to be weird.
it's yeah, better to be memorable than not,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
So
then
we
you're
get
forgotten.
weird. Just get weird. Okay.
I think that's a good segue into our last look. Ms. Tyra Banks.
hmm
How would you describe what we
Mm.
have?
Well, she's wearing kind of a velvet cape, black cape to the floor. And then I
Hmm.
would say a velvet strapless dress with sort of a body bodice, gold bodice over it, or like
Hmm.
corset. And her hair is really, really blonde. And it's up and done in serpent-like
Hmm.
curls.
Yes.
And I kind of think it looks pretty. You don't? No.
Well, everybody's entitled to
Don't
their
shame
opinion.
me.
No,
I,
no,
I think
no.
it's soft.
It
And I mean,
is.
it's these ringlet curls. Like, keep looking, like, zoom in and look. They're
So
pin
for me,
curls.
I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
it. It's
Okay.
giving Orphan Annie.
Um, okay, fine. Not me. I love her makeup too. I think it's stunning.
She's
Do you
little
like that
orphan.
eye?
No, she
She's
looks
little orphan
incredible.
Annie.
No, it's like I'm torn because it's a look. Like she's
Yeah,
committing to it.
she did.
It's a little bit like swim cap. Like
Yeah.
those
Yes,
50s swim
it is.
caps with the
Indeed.
flowers. Like
Uh-huh.
that's what it's giving, but
That's
it's
what
the
it is.
curls. I just there's something about it that's off for me. It's a moment, like it's
hmm
giving a good photo, but the videos I think are revealing
Yeah.
that it's
Okay,
maybe
fine.
not as well executed as I think it
Well,
could
I'm
have
gonna give it a
been.
6. So there you go.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give it like a 5.
Eeks.
It's not
Okay.
great. It's not the worst though. You know, we've seen trash. It's kind of on the line. Well, I'm sorry. I feel like we started off real strong and then just
Just crashed and burned.
like Tyra Banks' team. As always, we've got this week's top stories that you need to know about. Let's get into these. There's been quite a lot of controversy online, specific to J. Crew and a pink Fair Isle sweater,
Ugh,
that people are
stunning.
saying men shouldn't be wearing, which is just, I mean, what's your take? How do you feel
Oh
about
my
this? Men in
Lord. I
pink.
think I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I love it. I think this Fair Isle pattern, which I'm obsessed with in any
Hmm.
color, but
Hmm.
pink on a man with a denim shirt underneath.
Hmm.
Hi.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, look at you in your Ralph Lauren moment. I mean,
Maybe I'll
it's
pop
so
over to J.
preppy. The
Crew
thing
for a
that I'm
minute.
shocked about is like this has
It's
been a
so preppy.
thing in menswear for like 70 years. Like, what are we talking about? That this is controversial in like it's
And
so
Vogue?
homophobic and
Why?
weird. And I mean, I know that they're just like reporting on the fact that people are bitching about it online, but it's like, get a fucking life.
Seriously,
It's a
I might get
sweater.
this sweater.
You should. You should get it for your husband and
Honestly,
for your boys.
it's really
It's
great.
fire.
Yeah, it's fire. You should get this sweater. You get this sweater.
So I can't wear a pink sweater because I've got too much red in my skin and it brings it all out. I've thought about it. I
Are
don't
you
believe I
serious?
went to Catholic school. Like I
Oh,
mid-Atlantic, East
oh,
Coasty, like I loved a preppy moment, but like anytime I would put pink on,
huh.
I'm just looking like a little pig. I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Like
You
Peppa the
know?
Pig.
No,
Peppa the
literally.
Pig.
Or like Piglet.
I can't. Oh my
Just like
God.
it's some colors are not for everybody, and I'm telling you,
I can't unsee that.
I know that about
Piglet
myself.
with the
Pink,
curly
pink, yeah.
tail.
No, exact and with little curls, like it's not a good look. I know that about myself, but I
The
would not
curly
put
hair.
it down. Like
Oh
it's great.
God. I
Every time
love
I
it
see it, I'm
so
like, I wish
much.
that I could.
I wish you could
But
too.
but no.
Okay.
Maybe if I had a different coloring.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
sorry to
you're
me.
just too little pinky over there. Let's do it. Everybody go buy something pink except Jeff. God forbid. We
Yeah,
don't
do
need
it. Do it.
that. Uh-huh.
No, I don't want that for me. Which
Ah.
brings us to the next thing. So, I mean,
Yes.
another sort of trend from our youth.
Yeah.
This not to age you, but I know that this
It's
was more a
fine.
thing in my day, which is only just a few years off from your day. Which
Oh,
is
you're so much younger.
I know. That's what I'm aware. But this was the thing where it happened. It was a thing, and it sort of carried on. So anyway,
Yeah.
the thing that I'm referring to is emo beauty. So it is currently experiencing a revival. But there's
hmm
an argument online, specifically at Allure, that it never really went away, and it sort of
Mm.
just shifted, and now it's maybe back to what it looked like 20 odd years ago.
Okay.
Um, but But yeah, so what's your take on this? Do you recognize any sort of like hallmarks of emo hair and beauty
Yeah.
in the
I
mainstream?
mean, Ashley Simpson, wasn't she totally emo?
Yes,
Ugh.
yes, yeah. That was the whole thing, the
And then
box black.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's
Wow.
just not my style. And I think it's great for people that do because they might not like my current Ralph Lauren style, which
Yeah.
is a polar opposite. Polar
Yeah,
opposite.
a little bit. I'm just I mean,
Do
I just
you
feel like
like it?
I mean, so I loved this at the time. Like I
You
wanted this for
did?
myself. It's that thing
Were
of like
you
you
emo?
I was like seen
Wow.
adjacent, so like adjacent to emo.
Get out.
Um, but yeah, listen to like the screamo stuff. It was
Oh
inescapable,
gosh. It
inescapable.
was. I'm glad you were adjacent. Like
I
I'd like to
don't.
see some pictures,
I will
maybe.
find some.
Okay.
Like a flat iron and but I had lots of curly hair and then
Yeah,
so
you
straightening
did.
it and then I didn't ever want to commit to like the cut of the
Yeah.
swoop because then
Yeah.
you would have like how does that look in a so yeah,
Not good.
it wasn't for me necessarily, but I mean, it
I just
was
think that really dark black box color doesn't really do anybody any
no,
favors,
I did do that and I
So,
looked like I was dead.
right. Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
you weren't pink back then?
No, no. But
Mm,
that
okay.
was when I was
Okay.
sort of going back and forth between
What you wanted your look to be?
between the tanning beds and
My
I mean, we talked
God.
about the tanorexia. So then it was like, well, I mean, it
No,
was like a
you're the
weird swirl. The
opposite.
early 2000s, because it was emo, it was
Yeah, that
Jersey
mixed you up.
Shore, it
Yeah.
was Laguna
Yeah.
Beach, it
It
was so,
was.
and it was just like, what are we? There was lots
What
of messages.
did you spend more time in thematically? Emo or the tanning bed era?
I think all in all, probably the tanning bed
Okay,
era.
I
That
can
was
co-sign on
like,
that for sure.
yeah. Because then I went to a school on, on the coast. And it was like very beachy,
Yeah, so you
and
were
so
back in the tan.
yeah. So then yeah, just tanorexic as hell, and then blonder and blonder and blonder until
Oh, Lord help
the end,
me.
which we are familiar with.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. So
Okay.
do you all think that emo beauty has gone away, that it's back, that it's I'm curious. Like I want to hear from
Same.
stylists because we know that there are tons in our industry that specialize in the space and this vivids
Yeah, for
world
sure,
and
which
sort of
is so
gothy
cool.
beauty.
Hmm.
Exactly. So people have searched them out. Is it more popular? Like I'm genuinely curious because we definitely can't escape it again in popular
Hmm.
culture. So let
Yeah.
us know.
Let us know. All right, let's get to it. Today, we're here with Matthew Collins, a Los Angeles based celebrity hairstylist and entrepreneur with more than 17 years of experience. He's styled some of the biggest names in Hollywood, including Gigi Hadid, Karlie Kloss, Cindy Crawford, Kristen Stewart, and Mandy Moore, with his work appearing in top publications like Vogue, Vanity Fair, and InStyle. Matthew has also appeared as a hair expert on CTV's The Social and Etalk, serves as the global styling brand ambassador for Dyson, and co-founded both Scrungy and the Good Ones Beauty Training Academy. This is a good one. All right, make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volume up at thetease.com.
But before we get there, let's talk tease beauty news. So stories that are on the site. This one I may have had my hand in. So
Okay.
just
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's
bear
do
with me.
this. Let's do this.
The headline
Okay.
is Can Christmas decorations be cunty? John Novotny's tree says yes. Here we go.
Wow. Okay. Let's
Yep,
hear it.
yep. Hair
Woo.
artist John Novotny has Hair artist John Novotny has taken an unexpected but delightful approach to holiday decorating. For the past 3 years, he's added hair to his tree, artfully
Hmm.
draping pieces in a cascading fashion for a bold impact. Christmas decorations can be cunty. You need to head to thetease.com to see his decor and John's thoughts on how this whole thing comes together. The tree in question sort of went
Yes.
viral online amongst the hair pros. Have you seen the tree? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, initially I was like, why hasn't anybody done this before?
Hmm.
It's
It's kind
so
of genius.
cool. I
It's
love it. I wish I had one. I wish we had one in the office.
well, Kelly,
Oh no.
you
What?
could nope.
Oh, is there
Surprise,
one
it's
en
coming.
route?
No, no, no,
No.
no, no, no. But we can make this happen. And maybe we should. We should be inspired
Wow.
by John. I feel like this is going to set off
Huh.
a whole new trend in salons around the country, around the world, maybe.
Same. Here's the thing. I wish I would have saved all my extensions from all
Hmm.
of the years and then
Hmm.
client discards or anything like that
Uh-huh.
because I could have had a mini tree.
Yep, absolutely.
Just a mini.
So just keep this in
Huh.
mind for future
Love it.
when everybody, I mean,
I
and
love
and
it.
he talks a little bit about the hazards of
Yeah,
having
that's
hair
why
on a
no
tree.
lights on the
So,
tree.
we get
Gonna
into
burn
all of
that
that.
down.
Yes, you don't want
What?
that.
I
You
know.
nope, nobody wants that. So
No.
go to the tease.com, let's get into a little bit more of what he was thinking about when he was putting this tree together
Genius.
because it's good.
Genius.
It's good.
It's good.
You this is the kind of thing that hairstylists do and I love it.
I know. They're creative as hell.
Hmm.
All right. The MLB just made their hair wellness cool with Nutrafol, and here's how you can leverage it. Nutrafol has reached a new milestone in both sports and wellness. The number one dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand has earned certification from NSF, Certified for Sports program. NSF is the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. I did not know that. This makes Nutrafol the first and only hair growth supplement brand verified for safe use by professional athletes, giving consumers peace of mind about Nutrafol hair growth nutraceuticals and that they're not just any marketing hype. Listen, right? This is a
Hmm.
crowded space.
Hmm.
The NSF certification for sports program tests supplements for nearly 300 banned substances, potential contaminants, label accuracy, and manufacturing practices. Nutrafol certification ensures its hair growth nutraceuticals are safe and tested for long-term use when used as intended, and both for athletes and active consumers as well. For stylists, here's a conversation starter. Seriously, yikes, right?
Hmm.
If clients have been curious about hair growth, if clients have been curious about hair growth supplements, the certification gives you a credible way to share the news and guide them towards trusted options. And they've also partnered, as I mentioned, with a multi-year partnership with Major League Baseball as the official hair growth partner. This is an interesting one, Jeff, right? You think of all the supplements out there and you're like, wait
Hmm.
a second. I guess as a consumer, I should have been asking more questions. Like this would test or would possibly test for a substance with athletes. And I would not have thought of that. You? Like,
I think that it's genius. So
yeah,
insofar
smart
as
marketing.
it makes it clearer than ever that this is
Yeah.
safe and that it's not going to impact you in other sort of harmful ways, and so much so that it can pass screening for the MLB, which obviously has had issues with
Yeah.
doping and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think this is great. And also I think a solid partnership because of the fan base, obviously, but then the players.
Yeah.
Like there's so
Yeah.
many men, obviously it's men's baseball. That probably need this too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and there's so many eyeballs on them as they're sort of game to game and all this stuff. So, I think this is an interesting one I didn't see coming,
I do.
but makes total sense. So, get into it. There's so much more about this on the tease.com. Thank you to our contributors and our editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these over on the tease.com.
Now stay tuned for Jeff's interview with Matthew.
Matthew Collins is a Los Angeles-based hairstylist and entrepreneur. With a career spanning more than 17 years, Collins has perfected skills such as barbering, cutting, coloring, and balayage, and now specializes in celebrity hairstyling for events, award shows, runway shows, editorials, and beyond. Collins' celebrity clientele includes Gigi Hadid, Karlie Kloss, Cindy Crawford, Kristen Stewart, Kristen Bell, Mandy Moore, Bryce Dallas Howard, Camilla Mendes, Sophia Bush, Stella Maxwell, and Joey King. His work has been featured in publications such as Vogue, Vanity Fair, Elle Canada, Harper's Bazaar, Wonderland, and InStyle. His television work includes serving as a hair expert on CTV's The Social, Celebrity Style Story, and Etalk in Canada. Collins is currently the global styling brand ambassador for DYSON and was awarded L'Oreal Professional's Canadian Runway Stylist of the Year. He also co-founded Scrungy, a hair tie that combines style and function, and The Good Ones, an advanced beauty training academy. Matthew, welcome to the podcast. How's it going?
So great. How are you? So happy to be here.
I'm good. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get into stuff. We always start at the beginning for this. So you have, a lengthy career. I don't want to date you, but it spans barbering, cutting, editorial, all sorts of things.
All of it.
Celebrity styling, which we're gonna get into in this pod. But tell us about how you first came to hairstyling. When did you sort of no, like this is going to be the thing for me.
Okay, well, I don't think I knew I wanted to be a hairstylist till
Okay.
I was about 22,
Oh,
but I
late.
started to do hair at the age of 12. So basically, I would get my hair cut, and I had a pretty classic kids haircut, like
Sure.
number two on the sides, finger
Yep.
length on the top, whatever. But I
Classic.
was obsessed with it. I wanted it tight, and with my head shape, if it wasn't tight around my ears, I felt like I gained about 5 pounds, and
Sure.
I just didn't feel good about myself. So I started to ask my dad if I could get my hair cut every week. And I have four sisters and a mom that always went to a high-end salon that I never even
Mhm.
walked into. And me and my dad went to this tiny Italian barber shop down the street. And
Mhm.
my dad was like, "No, you get your haircut once a week, once a month. I mean, that's how people do it." So one day, though, when I was 12, he bought me a clipper set home. And he
Mhm.
said, "You want to cut your hair every 3 days? Learn how to do it yourself." So I started to
Interesting.
watch the barber, and I found if I cut every 3 days, I couldn't screw it up as much because I was like, you couldn't create a big degradation line. You could kind of blend everything else in. I was mainly doing fading my sides with the mirrors. I did that until I was 16 when I started to notice my friends that were going to like, a salon chain that wasn't specializing and they weren't doing a good job my friend's hair, and their mom was giving them $20 to go there, and I said, "Listen, I think I can do a better job. Trust me to cut your hair." And I was like a jock, so I played football, rugby, volleyball, hockey, everything. So my friends were mostly jocks,
Mhm.
and it was weird for them to trust me to cut their hair. So I gave them a $50 guarantee. I said, if I it's free, you keep your mom's 20, I'll give you a haircut, and if I screw it up, I'll give you $50. So I never had to pay anyone $50, and I got better as I did that. I then went to university to play football, and I basically exchanged beer for haircuts to the guys on my football team.
Relatable. Yeah.
And I loved doing it, but I didn't think ever that it was a career. My dad was a pilot, traveled the
Mm.
world. I always kind of, in my head as a kid, I think a lot of kids that play sports dream about being a professional athlete. So I dreamed about like traveling the world and this elaborate, cool job, whatever that
Sure.
may be. But I didn't see that with hair. All I saw with hair was like a tiny 300 square foot Italian barbershop is what I thought with hair. And I was like, that's cool for some people, but for me, I need to
Yes.
spread my wings more. So I didn't think of it. And then it took me going to university. I was a very strict Christian kid. I was
Mm.
like the leader of a youth group and worship band until I was 18. I went to university and everything changed. All the rails went off, and I was asked by the university to take a year off to
Oh,
consider my educational
sure.
thing. And then I kind of worked for Coca-Cola delivering Coke to grocery stores, and I was really depressed. I tried university again, failed out
Mm.
again, and halfway through that, my mom sat me down. She was like, "Matt, you got to do what you love to do." And I was like, "Yeah, but I like hair, but like that's not a real job." And she's
Mhm.
like, "Matt, the only things that make me truly happy in life, other than God and my family, is getting a great haircut. It changes how I feel about myself. If I have a good haircut, I'm kinder to the people in the grocery store. I'm kinder to different people. And if I have a bad haircut, the aura around me changes because I don't feel good about myself." And I felt that way too. So
Mhm.
that clicked to me. And she always went to this beautiful salon in my hometown, really high-end salon. I think it was at the time it was L'Oreal's number one account in the country in
Okay.
Canada. Being in a small town, it was just a big salon. And I remember walking in because my mom was like, "The owner said you can come and try to sweep the floors one day and see if you'd
Mm.
like it." And I was terrified. I waited like 2 weeks, and finally, because it was just like, come any day. So it was
Mm.
weird to like, if it was like come Monday at 9, that would make
Yeah.
sense. But I just walked in, didn't know anyone, started sweeping floors, and then they hired me. And it was funny because I only learned 2 years ago that that second day, I told the owner's son, who's now the owner, "I think eventually I want to move to LA and do celebrities hair." And I didn't remember saying that, but it was
Whoa.
funny to look back and be like, "Oh, what I want to do now was almost the second day of professionally doing hair, what I realized I wanted to do."
Damn.
So it's kind of weird how that just happens.
And then blink, and here you are, having done literally exactly that. Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful segue. You've worked with some heavyweights in beauty and fashion: Gigi Hadid, Kristen Bell, Cindy Crawford, more and more and more.
Hmm.
What was it like landing your first celebrity client? So, I mean, obviously, you didn't start with A-list, I'm imagining,
Hmm.
or did you?
Yeah.
Who the hell knows? Maybe you did.
Well, Canada's an interesting thing because there's a limited amount of celebrity work that you can
Sure.
do. If you think of like big celebrity, there's like
Mhm.
Canadian celebrities, and then there's like people that are also known globally, but there's not as many because they usually move.
Mhm.
Um, I had an agent and I worked at I had a few salons that I was a co-owner in, and I started to do, there's a company called Etalk, which is Canada's biggest news network. And I ended up doing two of the hosts' hair because we became friends, who's still my closest friend now. And then we ended up sponsoring the entire network. So I did all of their hosts. Then I ended up sponsoring all of their award shows. So I would do all their hosts for the award shows. And then sometimes talent would come in from the US to give away an award or whatever, and they didn't bring their hair team. So the company would then put me up as an option to do that celebrity's hair. And that's how I first worked with Gigi Hadid. And then that was kind of that was the first big celebrity that I did. And that was very early in her career. And then the first time I did her hair, I remember it was like a highlight. The look, we did a look for something else. She was at a Maybelline event and her hair went in People magazine as like the look of the summer, which to me at that point in my career was like, never in my life would I have thought that would happen. It was like crazy. Just a little picture in People magazine, a tiny little thing, but it was still magical. Like unbelievable.
Incredible. So I mean, again, you've got a storied career now. Gigi Hadid is one of many celebs that you've worked with. What is a look? Maybe it's this one where you're just like, damn, like I really did it. That is something that I'd want in my book forever.
You know what? I was talking to someone about this the other day, and I'm proud of so many of my looks, and there isn't one. Like there isn't one. Like I was talking to someone the other day, and it's like they did an Emmys look and they were proud of their Emmys look. They loved their Emmys look, but then you stay up at night thinking, yeah, but what if I moved that section over this way and did it like that? Or if I amplified that, could that have been better? Because you also go through and you look at every picture that has been seen the entire night.
Yep.
And you'll see one where the hair fell on the shoulder the wrong way, and then you feel sick to your stomach. And that has nothing to do with you. That is like always going to happen. But I think that in a weird way, that's what makes a good hairdresser in any form, is like you have this insatiating need for perfection that is kind of never going to be achieved. And I think if you start to think that your work's perfect, that's the first time everything starts to go downhill, because then you're like, I don't need any more education.
Yep.
I can kind of stop that. And I think that it's that fear that pushes me to educate myself further.
Oof. So well put. And I think like really relatable. A lot of people thinking like, I'm not there yet, and maybe they'll never be there as a final destination. They want to keep learning, and they ought to, because you know, why the hell not? I do want to talk about the Emmys that just happened. It feels like everything's a blur right now, particularly in the States. Obviously, lots of cultural things happening, but then it's New York Fashion Week, it's Emmys, all of the stuff. So talk to us, if you could, about your work with Liz Trenier.
Yeah, so that's one of the girls who I became kind of the first, I guess, celebrity that I've worked with. We became best friends. She was in my wedding party. We have daughters that are like a few months apart, and she moved to LA at the same time as I did, and I used to sponsor it, and it would do something. Now I don't sponsor it anymore, but I do her hair every single award show because she's hosting on the red carpet. And it works out because most celebrities don't start till 10:30, and she always needs to be ready by 10:30. So usually she orders breakfast. This time I brought my daughter and my wife over, and my child and her child are playing in the living room. And then we're just doing hair, and she's having to leave and change a diaper and come back. And so it's a whole lot different than it used to be. Doing her hair. But we have about an hour. So I do like a full, and normally I have 2 hours, but with her, we usually book an hour. And we start collaborating a few weeks before. I knew the dress about a week before. She sent me an inspiration on how her hair wanted. She wanted it to be more structured, but saw a softness to it, not super hard. Just kind of like a nice swoopy wave on top, French twist in the back, but then covered over and made to look soft, so it's not like a harsh French twist. And it was great. I think like where I look back and I'm like, I wish I did it, is I do her color as well. I don't do a lot of color anymore, but I used to specialize in balayage and blondes, and we were supposed to do her color first, and we didn't. Things got crazy. And then so looking at it, that's the only thing, because I knew the way that the waves were with her dark roots, as soon as it's dark, you start to see the wave pattern once the blonde hits. So if the blonde was there and caught up, you really would have seen the wave more. So like we look back and that is the regret I have, but that has nothing to do with me. And most of the time I'm lucky because I color her hair. A lot of the times I do celebrities where I don't color their hair. So like I can't even think that that was an issue because what was I supposed to do?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, this look is incredible. So, I mean, I think this is back to
Thank
what you were
you.
just saying in terms of that whole, if I could have. But I mean, the look really stands up. And particularly, I really like the contrast of the color. The color
But
looks great. I mean, I know what
thank
you're
you.
getting at, but I mean, the way that the movement is so organic, and that was something that was surprising about this Emmys was the sort of softness and effortlessness that, so many people sort of aspire to was really front and center for this red carpet.
Mhm.
Which was a bit of a change of pace. Like, we've seen others seasons where it's like super structured, super sleek.
Yeah.
But this was really refreshing, particularly your style. So just wanted to sort of talk
Yeah.
about that.
It
Styling wise, I mean, obviously you're known to work with a brand, and we're going to talk about that. But
yeah.
but what are the essentials? What is like Matthew? What's in your kit?
First of all, it's like everything starts with the blow dry. It's like we always hair school, you talk about the foundations of building a house, blah, blah, blah. And it's still more important now because essentially I'm creating a look. So for instance, Liz, I created a look for her. We were finished at 9 o'clock in the morning. The red carpet that she was hosting didn't start till I don't think it was like 3 o'clock that she
Yeah.
was on. And then she did after parties. So essentially that look needed to be locked in
Damn.
from 9 in the morning and look the exact same when she was hosting for the parties after. So that's a lot. That was 12 hours it had to hold. So like if the base isn't there, it's not going to be good. And
Mhm.
that's when things start to fall apart. And that's when you start to see that Getty image photo as you're sitting in bed looking at it and you have a panic attack because something moved. So it's usually like with a lot of texture sprays and volumizing mousses, like I tend to not put any sort of an emollient in the hair to start. I kind of use all polymers. So like any mousses, texturizing sprays, things like that that are getting grit to the hair. And I have to feel the grit before I move on. Sometimes I'm moussing
Yeah.
the roots 3 or 4 times. And as
Okay.
soon as I feel that texture, because I'm trying to avoid having to put lots of texture spray and hairspray in the end
Mm.
because especially when you're styling in a small hotel room, it's a bit abrasive to people. It's not in a
What do
salon
you
where
mean?
like you spray like crazy and you get it in their face. Like I'm cognizant of that and I
Yeah.
don't want to like get hairspray on the face after the makeup's done. So it's
Mhm.
like a lot of things that I'm kind of working with there. So that's the build up, and then I'm constantly like, just blow drying and making sure like the hairline is perfect. Most of the time, we're dealing with center parts right now,
Mhm.
and most people don't have a great center part. There's always one part that wants to bubble up on one
Yep.
side and one piece that wants to go flat. So I'm always like trying to lift up the side that's flat and flatten the side that is lifted so that they both have a small lift. And that's usually what I'm fighting for about 10 minutes to make sure
Mm.
that that's perfect. And then I start to move to everything else. Then I go through and I always flat iron tap all through the roots because I need to make sure that all those flyaways are sitting down. I need to make sure if they're sweating around the hairline or the neck or the face, the hairline or the back of the neck, that that's going to maintain its integrity and not frizz up. So I kind of remove all the elasticity on that, and then I
Mhm.
start to work and build from there.
Wow. I'm just like taken aback a little bit. The talking about the layering of the product, so important. I think that people maybe like gloss over this. Like, but you're right. You got to
Mm.
think about that foundation, particularly as you said, like, are you able to touch her up? Like, or is this a you're setting her and hoping for the best kind of situation?
You know what? This was an interesting year because most of the time if you're doing someone for the carpet,
Hmm.
then you also have another job that if they're going to an after party, you'll usually show up at their hotel and they give
Yep.
you a half hour and they could change their look or keep the look. And this year, no one was really doing that. Like all my clients went straight through the whole thing. So there was
Yep.
no touch ups. And even on my first client, I had a client at 10:30, a girl, Ruth from Slow Horses. And I was supposed to have 2 hours with her, and then I was going right to another client, Krista Miller from Shrinking, and then I was supposed to have 2 hours with her, and that the last one got the call time moved up a half hour that she was supposed to be at her carpet.
Oof.
So then I only had an hour and 15 with her, and basically my end time with the one client was the start time of the next client, but I was a 20-minute drive away with
Of
having to
course.
get my car to valet. So
Of
like
course.
I'm calling ahead to make sure the valet can come down. I text the ticket and then I come down. He's like, well, we don't actually bring the car up when you text the ticket. And I'm like, listen, you get my car immediately. I'll give you 20 bucks cash.
Yep.
Like
Just do
I'll
it.
tip you
Run.
extra.
Yep.
I'm waiting. Nothing's happening. Finally, I see a valet guy and the guy yells at him. He's like, get this guy's car ASAP. I watch him walk so slowly down the ramp to get my car. And I'm just like, oh my God, this was perfect. I was going to be on time. Now I'm going to be late.
Yeah.
And I raced to that client like a bat out of hell. Like I was shocked I didn't get a speeding ticket and I made it there a minute early. And
Oh.
that's what happens almost on every award show. There's always a chiming stage. But then the problem is I didn't even stay for finals on that first client, which gives me anxiety. I finished her hair. I touched it up. She was in a robe, wasn't even dressed yet. I didn't even get to take pictures and I left and you're just sitting there praying for the best that something doesn't go wrong. And there's nothing you
And it
can
didn't.
do. It's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was great. But I didn't get to, I like to always take my own pictures and I didn't get to do that, which I was very upset about because I've now taken that so seriously. You can't count on red carpet photos because now there's lawsuits with Getty Images. They're
of course.
trying to sue hairdressers, which is always a frustrating thing. It's like, you're not tagging me and I can't sue you, but I have to tag you properly. And there's no way for an artist, they don't give a discount for an artist to buy the photo. They haven't
course not.
figured out a way to make that work.
Yep.
So I want to take photos and never post a Getty photo because I know hairdressers that have been sued. So it's like this weird game that we're now playing. And now we have to be photographers. iPhones aren't good enough anymore. I go to makeup artists and there's like, they have one good digital camera, then they'll have a film camera, then they'll have like now the thing is like those old school flip video cameras that have the horrible resolution.
Of course.
And now they're making videos with that. So now you got like a photography kit. It's a fun thing I'm enjoying learning, but it's like another thing that we're adding to what we have to do.
Among all of the million other things. And the big thing, which is of course making your client look their very best.
Yes.
So tell me, I mean, you just talked about 3 different clients for Emmys.
Yeah.
How the hell are you keeping it straight in terms of like, what is the inspo? What is the execution? What's in your kit to make sure that each of them gets the look that, you know, you and they landed on?
So my kit is always the same. I have a huge Away suitcase. It's the Away trunk, which a lot of people are using now. It's the biggest one they have. It's about 75 pounds. I use 20% of it 90% of the time, and the rest of it's emergency. So I have that with like one side of the kit is just extensions, just in case extensions that I sometimes use, sometimes don't. The rest of it is like every pin you could imagine. I also have a separate kit that is like, I go to Michael's and I buy every form of ribbon. It's anything that I could ever imagine, like pearl strings, diamond strings that I could tie a ponytail with. I might never use it, but sometimes it comes in clutch. Hair accessories, all that stuff. So I have everything in case that I need. So I bring that everywhere. And then we plan. Some people are different. There's a lot of award shows I show up and I haven't seen the dress. I don't have any idea what I'm doing. There's not been a lot of communication, and you do it there. For instance, like my one client, there wasn't a lot of talk and it was the first time meeting her. And that was the second one that I was maybe going to be late to, which was giving me anxiety because I'm like, I know the dress she's wearing and I know she wants her hair up, but I have zero clue what her hair feels like, what her vibe and energy is, anything. And the first girl that I had, Ruth, there was a lot of consultation. There was like a WhatsApp group. She's a UK actress with like 6 people on it, and everyone's just talking in depth, and they're sending me images of what they like, which I love the best when they send me images and a mood board of looks that I've done. So it's kind of very specific because Pinterest is now impossible because literally I can't find a non-AI picture now. So it used to be my favorite point of reference. I create my own mood boards, and now I'm having a nightmare of a time creating mood boards because I can't show them AI pictures. So it's changed a bit.
Wow. The AI of it all. I mean, God, this keeps coming up. I mean, if it's not being forced down our throats, begrudgingly, I mean, this doesn't bode well for any of us. So we appreciate that frustration. Talking about balance, precision, and pressure. I mean, you just got at this where, again, like the time is running down. You obviously want to set your foundation, make sure that you're set up for success, but you know, sometimes things happen. So what does that like internal negotiation look like for you? Because I feel like, you know, our listeners who maybe not working under this kind of pressure, don't have a sense of what that's like. So talk to us a little bit about, if you could. I mean, maybe they're back to back in the salon, they sort of understand, but what is that like? The knowing like, oh God, like I really can't stick around for much longer here.
You know what? I think I always compare celebrity styling to wedding hair. If you've done wedding
Mm,
hair, it's pretty similar emotions. It's a very important day for that woman. Sometimes it's more pressure because it's if you're especially if you're doing the bride, it's the most
yeah.
it's should be the only day she has like this. Might not be, who knows? But at that day, they're thinking it's the only
Yeah.
day I'm going to look like this. So that's where the pressure is really, but it's different. It's like there's often, well, I guess a wedding, there's a lot of stress because
Mhm.
sometimes people are giving away an award, are receiving an award, are have never been in this environment themselves or have a lot of pressure on them that day. And a lot of actors are not as outgoing as you think they are. They're
Mhm.
fine in front of a camera. Like for me, I'm fine in front of a camera. I'm fine teaching in front of 5,000 people. But like last night, I went to a hair event and I had more anxiety going to that to see my peers and some
Yeah.
strangers that I don't know. I was panicking because I was like, that atmosphere is weird when
Very different.
it's a very different vibe. So I think, as I said before, my fear is what motivates me to do good. So
Mm.
I will look through almost their entire Instagram page to get a sense of what they do or don't like.
Mm.
Whenever I show up, the first thing I ask is, what have you had done in the past that you really didn't like or feel comfortable with? It's better than asking them what they want. Sometimes they
Mm.
know what they want, but like there could be and sometimes don't have the answer. Sometimes they tell me something that like lets a light bulb off, and maybe
Mhm.
it's something I was thinking about doing, but for them, they hated that. So that gives me a lot of
Good to know.
information. Um, but I think I'm always slightly nervous. I'm always a little stressed out, but I'm quick at what I do because I did fashion weeks. When I
Mm.
worked in the salon, my assistants did not do any of the work for me. Blow dries, nothing. They only washed and toned for me. And I used to do 15 clients a day. So I became very
15?
speedy, 15 clients. So I would always, if I did a balayage, I would always do it within the hour. The balayage would be completed in the hour. There would be the processing time. Haircut time was an hour. And I always pride myself as I would never be behind. I watched a hairdresser when I first worked in the salon. She was unbelievable hairdresser and always running 30 to 40 minutes behind. And I saw people loved what they did, but it was one thing that you're making people choose to maybe not go back with you.
Mm.
And so I kind of was instilled that I'm not going to be this person. I hate to wait when I show up to
Yeah.
places. So that's not what I'm going to want to do. And now in a 2 hour do and go, that is almost the time always that we have to do a celebrity look. It's changed a bit because makeup artists are doing a lot of skincare work. Got like I forget how to pronounce it, the gua sha. They're using devices on their faces, eye masks, and I can't necessarily work when they're doing that.
Nope.
So that's about 10 minutes. Then I have 10 minutes that eyeliner is being done. I have 10 minutes when lips are being done. And I have 10 minutes when eyelashes are being done. So I almost have removed 40 minutes where I need to
Damn.
pause. So I kind of need to do everything I need to do in 40 minutes. So I work really quick and I strategically think on what I'm going to do. And then I go from there because I just need to make sure that like I get everything pinned away from the face and the hairline worked for immediately. And then I can kind of go. So I'm also got used to like working where the head doesn't budge. So I
Mm.
can start to do stuff while lips being done. And I always tell the makeup artist first thing I said, if there's a moment that you need me to pause, please ask me to pause. And then we kind of do both. Like when I'm at the beginning, I'm like, I need 5 minutes with her hairline.
Mhm.
So you can kind of set your kit up or whatever. And you kind of have to have that collaboration and it makes it work better.
Well, I mean, communication key, but sounds like you've got this down. Also, it sounds a little bit like you're built differently. 15 clients in a day. That's a packed day. Talk to me a little bit about the difference between celebrity red carpet styling and editorial, because you've done both. You've done quite a lot of
Mhm.
both. Editorial, though, again, a little bit of a mystery to our listeners who are maybe not in that space. So,
Mhm.
what typifies that experience? What does the time management look like there?
Well, editorial, what I do miss, I don't get the time to do it, is creative editorials. When you're working in editorial, you end up meeting a ton of amazing photographers, stylists, and makeup artists, and you're all always trying to build your book.
Mhm.
So, you work with a great photographer and you're like, hey, next week, are you doing a creative? Let's find a great model and do something. And I don't do those as much anymore. And those are my favorite because then sometimes it's photography focused, makeup focused, and hair focused. And then you get to really kind of push your boundaries in what you're doing. Because, like, celebrity work, you're not often pushing your boundaries. It's very rare. If you luck out and you get one client, like I had a client this weekend who's the lead in the new Alien series, and she's got a baby bang. And I
Sick.
was so pumped. I was like, I'm one of 3 hairdressers that gets to style a baby bang on the red carpet. Like this doesn't, no
Let's
one
go.
has a baby bang in Hollywood. So that was exciting. But then especially with like editorial work and runway work, there's an insane amount of pressure. You have to do things. Sometimes the models are coming from another show and show up. The show's starting in 5 minutes and you have to do an entire look in 5 minutes. So that would help me to like, get in that mindset. And editorial is like very collaborative to the point of like in fashion world, everyone thinks that they're saving lives generally with their job. It's like the stylist and the photographer. We all think that literally what we do today is going to save children around the world. Like it's very important. So like it's kind of high pressured and it's like different things. And then you kind of have to understand that like it could look amazing on the model. And then you have to understand the lighting of it all because photography and editorial is all about the lighting. So sometimes you're creating a look that goes back and the look is beautiful. It looks incredible. If you take a photo in front of natural light, it's the most stunning hairstyle you do. You take it into the lighting. If you didn't look at the lighting and what the lighting set it looks disgusting. And then you have to change it. And so you kind of have to start to understand lighting and what that looks like. I remember one time, we were doing a wet look and it was backlit and it was a perfect wet look, but it looked greasy. So it was like, and the photographer understood this. It was like, we kind of, there was a miscommunication where the lighting was coming from, or it wasn't talked about as much. But then you have to go and you have to pivot and you have to figure out what it's doing. So there's a lot of pivoting, always staying in the same bet because you're always creating usually 2 or 3 looks in an editorial, but there has to be a continuity, whether it's the texture is the same. Sometimes it goes off the rail and some editorials are meant to have like a wild change every time, but like, you usually don't get that lucky to do it. But then also in editorial, there's almost zero money. You shoot the front cover of Vogue, you're going to get $250 as a kit fee. And that's not covering, if you live in New York, it's not even covering your Ubers or the pins or hair that you have to buy. It's like there's a limited amount that you can do financially.
Realistically. Yeah. That's important. I'm glad that you're actually talking about that because I do think like certainly the creative aspect is romanticized and people really, really sort of put editorial work on a pedestal. But there are realities that complicate the picture a little bit that people are maybe not necessarily willing to talk about. So I appreciate that.
But with that, you're going to do like 100 editorials and get paid nothing. But then one day they're going to be like, oh, we want you to do this Adidas campaign and you could make 20 grand. So I'm not saying it's that much. Sometimes it is, but like you're kind of doing all this free work to make one good payday. And then if you do that one, then you might start doing more of those huge advertising campaigns with models. But if you're lucky, you do a celebrity client who then starts to all of a sudden blow up and gets those campaigns. And then that makes up for all the times that you worked for an out-of-pocket rate or, the network is the money from networks is just dropping consistently. So it's like trying to balance what that is.
Yeah. Connecting the dots for us. All right, exactly. Matthew, I want to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, which is Dyson Beauty. Talk to us about how you got connected with them. I mean, you are a global styling ambassador, have been featured. We were just talking about campaigns. You yourself have been in many of their campaigns. I've seen promo videos and all sorts of assets. So like, how did this start?
So what was it? It was over 10 years ago. It was 6 months before we launched the first Dyson Supersonic that I got a call. And I got a call from my agent saying, Dyson wants to talk to you about being an ambassador. And I was like, for vacuums? Like, this doesn't make sense. So I had to sign all these contracts and papers and non-disclosure agreements before I could even find out why they wanted to talk to me. I found out we went to a hotel room and in a steel suitcase with a lock on it, they opened it up and they showed me the first Dyson Supersonic. I decided to sign my contract because I liked it. But then I was also like, I also have to keep the secret for 6 months. I can use it on my girlfriend at the time because she signed a contract as well. But I don't get to try it on a lot of hair types. For me, the blow dryer is the most important part. And I was like worried. I was like, I don't get to try it on everyone. So I put it in my contract that if I don't believe that this is the best blow dryer I've ever used, I can cancel my contract at any time. Because to me, before that, I worked for L'Oreal for 15 years and I believed in the product. Now I'm just with Dyson and I believe in the product. I always wanted to work with something that I can say what I mean and what I believe. So then they hired me, and I think they hired me because of a few things. With L'Oreal, they taught me a lot about public speaking. I did a lot of public speaking workshops, and that's a strong asset that there's a lot of hairdressers that for sure have more skill than me. But where I can kind of put myself above is the amount of time and effort I put into public speaking training. And that's what a lot of people haven't done. And I think that that's my secret weapon that I've always had is the public speaking training. So I had that. I was a TV on-air expert. So I had the access to bring, without DYSON having to pay for it, me using their products on TV, as I was the only hair expert really in Canada at the time on TV. And then I did editorial celebrity. I had a salon. I had sponsorships. Like I had multiple things that worked for them. So that's kind of why they started working with me from the beginning. And also, I'm a pretty nice person to be around. I'm not an asshole. And I think that that's a huge important thing. And with DYSON's team, what they started, that was actually, I found out later, was a big part of it. They didn't want to have egos involved. And still with our global ambassador team, we're all close. They all flew in for my wedding from all around the world in 2022. And like, we talk all the time and we're really close, and it's not a combative environment. We're all supporting each other, and it feels really good to be part of a true family like that. Cause we were all with them from the beginning. And when we did a hair show and they were like, oh, so we have to hire models? Like, because it's an engineering brand that went into the beauty space. It's not like a L'Oreal that they know what they have to do in the beauty space. It was a bunch of people that like the PR people promoted vacuums before, and now all of a sudden they're promoting a beauty tool. They didn't build their beauty team until later. So that was very fascinating and fun because I also had a lot of input in how those things would work.
Wow. Talk to me. I mean, you just mentioned 10 years. So what is the most exciting aspect? I mean, you said sort of the family environment among the team, but other things. I mean, there's been so much innovation that's come out of the brand in this time that you've been a brand ambassador. So I'm curious, what excites you most?
My favorite thing to do is when we go to the UK, usually once a year, we get to go in a private room, very secretive room, and I sit there for hours and team of engineers after team of engineers, because it's like each thing that they're starting to create is a small group of people. Like I'll do DYSON launches within DYSON personnel, like to launch across the world, because no one at DYSON knows what was created unless it's a small group of people. So this group of engineers will come in and they will show me a tool that is, when I saw the DYSON Corel, this cordless flat iron right here, when I saw this, it was a 3D printed version that was see-through with all these cables attached to this crazy huge battery pack. And that was super early and conceptualized. And it was 3 years later that we came out with this. Same thing with the air wrap and different things. And I'll see it very early. And these are not engineers that are looking to have their ego stroked. They are like, tell us what's wrong with it. Tell us how we can fix it. And they always do. Like we just came out with this new oil that's with sunflowers that are created at our farm. And it was funny because I forgot, I was in that room and I was using it. And I was like, I love the way that this comes out. You can hold it upside down and give it a light tap and a small amount comes out. Or you can go like this and a big amount comes out. And the engineer looks at me and she's like, Matt, that was your idea. Because I talked about this face oil that I had and the way that it came out of my hands. And I totally forgot that I did that, because it was 4 years previous to that. And I was just saying 100 things that day. And then it's wild to know that like you created a thing and then this happens, but like they're doing this with a ton of hairdressers and a ton of different focus groups. And they really listen to what people are doing. And sometimes these things that I see get squashed and it doesn't come into fruition. And sometimes it's 5 years down the road and you don't know when that's going to happen. But they're constantly innovating and trying things. And you know, James has a really high standard. So if it's not perfect, because it's a privately owned company, he owns the whole company. He's not answering to shareholders and they're like, nope, you need to make this product. You need to make it cheaper. He's just like, this isn't good enough. If I've lost that money developing it, we're not doing it. And I don't care. And to me, that shows me the true integrity of a company. Like, and that makes me proud to be with them all the time.
So speaking of proud, what is the one DYSON tool maybe that you're most proud to have in your kit? I mean, you mentioned a few just a second ago, but like the standard, the one where you're like, if I don't have this thing, it's not happening.
It's this the new Supersonic R. It's like so lightweight and powerful. And also everyone comments on, if they haven't seen one before, they're like, wait, what is this? It's like, it's so light, it feels weird when you first use it. And like when you turn it on, it kicks back because it's so powerful, because it's so light. And I just love that about it. It has an instant cool shot that like, cool shot's a cool shot. You hit the cool shot button and you got to wait like a 1, 2,
Take a peek.
3, and then it's really cool. And this is like, it's instantly cool, which to me, when I'm setting the hairline and working on it, that's what I need. I need to heat it up to create the shape. I need to cool it in to lock it in, especially when I'm trying to flatten a piece. I really need to get those roots hot to mold them and then cool it and then put a pin in it to set it down. So to me, that's the number one thing I can't live without.
So with the R, I mean, when it first came out, there was a lot of sort of buzz around like the novelty, like, how do you hold that? How do you, from your perspective, I mean, now this is, V2, this is a different colorway that you just showed us. What are the sort of hurdles that you think pros need to get around in order to use it most effectively?
It's weird when you first hold it. And as I always say, but the funny thing is I'll hear that from people that use the first supersonic and still use it. But I'm like, you also said that from the first supersonic. And so it's kind of like, yes, it's weird to hold at the beginning. You got to figure it out. And then you do within half of a blow dry, you've got it figured out, And I feel like it's interesting. It's like Dyson's solving problems, and usually it's fixing. My favorite thing that they ever did was hairdressers would complain the first Dyson blow dryer that the magnetic attachments were falling off, right? That's because hairdressers, when they're finished with a section they put underneath their arm or in between their legs, and they're doing that and they're knocking off the magnetic attachment. And it didn't matter. We made it stronger anyway. But the problem is they did that because of a bad habit, because other blow dryers, if you held it in your hand and did a section, it's going to suck in all the hair into the filter. But the first thing that Dyson did is they made sure that no hair will ever suck in the filter. So as people were like, yeah, but I'm knocking off my nozzles. It's like, are you putting it in your armpit? And they're like, yes. I'm like, well, you don't have to do that anymore because we fixed the problem you've been doing for years. And that's also why hairdressers had a hard time with the Dyson Corel, because they were using up the battery too much, because it's measuring the heat at 100 times a second. They were doing multiple quick passes with the hair. You're meant to do one very slow pass because it's measuring the heat. So if you go very slow with a traditional flat iron, the heat's going to get so hot in that zone, and because it's not adjusting the heat. And so it's like we're making tools that work better the way you're supposed to be using it without having to make consolations. But then when a hairdresser uses it with their habit that they've been forced on because of misengineered tools, you use it wrong, which then makes the tool not perform to its better thing. So it's kind of like we have to learn and evolve as hairdressers because technology is getting better. And then we have to do things differently, which is better, but old habits die hard. You know what I mean? It's a hard one when you've been putting your blow dryer in your armpit for 20 years to then stop. And I still have a hard time with that. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm perfect with it.
Talk to me about some of the newness. So, I mean, we mentioned the Supersonic R, obviously, huge deal. You talked about some of the styling products that have just come out. I don't think people necessarily knew that Dyson had a farm estate. What are some other sort of new items that you're excited about?
I think our newest thing is the products that are coming out. So the first things that we have are the Dyson Kaizen, which is here, which one of my favorite things is the pump system. When you pump it in your hand, it has 0.22 milliliters every single time. So you have easily repeatable steps, because we all know when you're having like a wash and go day or you're putting product in, if you're squeezing, scooping, or pumping, you have no idea how much product that is. And sometimes it's gummed up, so you might get less. So you can't repeat that same amount of product every day. And what I love that they did with this first line Kaizen is there's 4 pre-stylers. Each one is the same type of product for humidity protection and hold, but each one is designed for different hair types. One straight into wavy light conditioning, straight into wavy rich, curly coily rich, curly coily light. So it's very catered to all hair types. And there's one post-style serum that breaks it up. We now have the leave-in conditioner and the oil, which are the first time Dyson has used sunflowers from their own farms, because the goal is that we farm a lot of the own products that we're using. And I think that's really exciting, because James's biggest passion is sustainable farming, and it's really cool. He makes the best strawberries you've ever had in your life. If you go to the UK, most strawberries, if you go to a Marks and Spencer, they'll all be his strawberries. They're perfect. They're picked by AI machines that know when the green leaves hair. He explains that the green leaves hair look like David Bowie's hair. So if this is the strawberry, the leaves are like this, it's ready to be picked. If the leaves are like this, it is not ready. So it's picked, and they're using different things to make sure that they all get light. And it's incredible what he's doing with just his passion, but his passion, because he invented the first vacuum living on a farm. So farm has always been his thing. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that going forward. I can never talk about what's coming down the road, but like if we see we're launching certain products or tools, there's obviously more tools and things that are going to be coming, whether we know when they're going to come or when they're not, or what they are. I can never talk about it, but it's exciting and it's passion. It's awesome to know where we're going, and it's a big part of the business now because I think it's a big space where there's a lot of engineering and intuitiveness that can go into all of these things. And I just love all the different ways that they're doing things. But the product for me is super exciting.
Tell me, if you could, how you're demystifying all of this for pros. I mean, I've seen you at shows when you're on stage working through demos, telling people how to use these things. But as you said, old habits die hard. They're maybe not aware of the intuitive nature of some of the designs. What are the things that you've been able to do to sort of break through to your fellow pros?
The tricky thing is it's a higher thing. People like to hate on Dyson because it is a higher price point. So that a lot of people will say they hate a Dyson, and it's only because they can't pay for it. And I get it. It's hard. And I've had those conversations to be like, oh, okay, like maybe we can create payment systems or different things. But we're talking about hundreds of millions of pounds of development into these tools. They're not cheap tools. This isn't a company that's waiting for other technology to expire in a patent and using it, because that would save you hundreds of millions of dollars. They're creating it so that it's better for
prioritize 10 years down the road. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. And they're wanting to make great tools for consumers too, because we know it's like some hairdressers will get mad that a Dyson Airwrap is taking away from them, but it's like the weekly blow dryer was gone long before the Dyson Airwrap came on board. We know what's happening, and that's just the way it is. And I think it's like for people to just give it a good try. And when I see people give it a good try and use it, their light always goes off. But it's one of those things that people really like to hate. But I usually find the hate is only from a person that's kind of just mad because they can't, or it's usually, if it's a hairdresser, like a higher end hairdresser, it's usually because they work for a competitive brand. And I'm like, I get it. You know what I mean? I understand that. We've all been there. But it's a thing where I'm just like, you just got to try it out. And for hairdressers out there that don't know to try it out, there's Dyson demo stores everywhere. You can go into a demo store, you can try everything out, see how it feels, and use them and go from there. And I love them, and I love the way that they work. And usually if someone's unhappy with them and I have a conversation with them, I can usually find the reason why they're unhappy with it. And it's usually just like I said, an old habit die hards, and we adjust that habit and it works great.
So something else that you've done along the way is become an entrepreneur and developed your own brand. So it's not a Dyson competitor. It is something that works hand in hand with the work that you do. So talk to us about Scrunchie.
Scrunchie was like, I noticed like with bungee cords that hairdressers use, it was impossible for consumer to use them because they're very short and it's hard to get like multiple wraps, and it becomes a lot of pressure points because when it's so short, as soon as the first hook comes in, you have to pull it with such tension and go around. So I wanted to create something that's more consumer friendly. So I created the Scrunchie, which is a mix of a scrunchie and a bungee cord. So it's longer. It's about 8 inches long with a double stretch, because a lot of scrunchies don't have a lot of stretch. I worked with a company that had an incredible patented stretch elastic that has a really infinite stretch, and we test it multiple times. So it has a lot of surface area, and it's quite a thick band with a good hefty scrunchie around. So by the time you wrap it around your hair, it covers such a good surface area that you don't get a small dent when you remove the scrunchie. It allows you to also put the hook in and wrap it around once before you start to pull it tight, which creates less tension on the first hook. But it was something that was really hard to create because there isn't anywhere Like you could create, there's 100 companies if you want to create a product line in the US that you could find, go meet and create your product line tomorrow. If you want to do a cheap one and just slap your label on it, you could have a
Easy.
shampoo line tomorrow. To create an accessory was an impossible task. The only option was to go to China, and I was like, I can't go there enough. How am I supposed to trust
Hmm.
what's going to happen out there?
Hmm.
And luckily, I found a company in Canada that was a scrunchie line that they get all their scrunchies and scrunchies handmade. They're actually, most of our sewers are Ukrainian single mothers that are able to
Oh,
work
wow.
from home, and they do all their work from home. So it's all done by hand. It makes the price point higher, but the quality's there. When I feel a scrunchie and like or any scrunchie, I always get the words mixed up, and you pull it, there's always like a locking point pretty
Hmm.
quick, and this does not. There's like a
Oh.
long stretch to it, and it was a lot of fun to do. I find the creation was the most fun.
Mm.
Once a product launches, it's like I'd rather have hands off from that point. Like it's just like I love the whole creative process of everything. I love dealing with a lawyer and dealing with patent law. And I got to learn so many things about wild things about patent law. Like that is the scariest world out there. Like sometimes it's not worth getting a patent because the cheapest you're going to sue someone for patent infringement is about a $500,000 bill to sue them. And then you might need to find an investor that invests strictly for this lawsuit.
Yeah.
It's a weird game out there, but I partnered with a smaller brand and we don't have the reach that a lot of people do. So it becomes a challenge, and then the challenges go from there. And I think it's hard to, what I find in the industry is it's hard. You can create a great tool,
Hmm.
but you also have to convince people to break a habit. And that's the hard thing. Sometimes people don't want the thing that's going to actually work better. They're going to tend to do the lazier option, even
The
if they
thing's
say,
familiar.
because a scrunchie, you're pulling it out and ripping hair out every single time.
Hmm.
Scrunchie, you remove the one hook and it unravels. So it's going to save your hair, but a lot of people, they care about it, but they're not willing to spend that extra money. And I think that's our problem. I think if we were able to make this product at $5 a pop, $10 a pop,
Easier
it
to
would have been
convert.
a different story, but
Yeah.
it's $23 a pop. So that's a tricky price point to get people to do. And launching during COVID, when price is a thing, it's a hard thing to do. So it's now we're starting to reevaluate like what's the next step for us.
Hmm.
And so we created a great product, but then it's like, do we sell to a bigger brand that has a more marketing output? We
Hmm.
don't know. It's a thing. But my favorite is creating a brand. I wish I could just have a job where I create things. As I said, my favorite thing with Dyson is sitting in the room with the engineers.
Hmm.
So it's like
Hmm.
obviously I love creation. The after creation is not the fun. Just like hairdressers, they love the creation
Exactly. The
process, and then you have
process.
to do the social media after, the
Like,
marketing of your salon, and that's the worst. It's kind of the same for all creative minds, I think, usually.
that's fair. But it sounds like there's maybe going to be some more products in the future for you beyond Scrunchie. But for Scrunchie, people that are now interested that didn't know about it, where can they
Yeah.
find, where could they purchase?
We sell it through our sister company called Chelsea King. And they are a scrunchie company based out of Vancouver, Canada.
Hmm.
But you can go to the scrunchie, scrunchie.com, and it's going to direct you to their website and you can purchase it. And there's two different colors. There's like a vegan leather one that we have, as
Hmm.
well as a active nude. So it's done of yoga pant material. So it's designed because this works especially well if you're doing a workout and you have the ponytail that slips out all the time and
Hmm.
no one wants to fix their ponytail in a workout. This ponytail is locked in. We did our launch at a spin class, and I put the scrunchie in 30 influencers' hair, and no one had to touch their ponytail after.
The
And being
dream.
in spin classes, I would actually hear the instructor be like, "Fix that
Yeah.
ponytail, girl," and she has to like stop her workout to fix her
Yeah.
ponytail. And like that was actually the moment when I was like, "Oh, I think I have something here. This could do it."
Amazing. Well, we'll make sure to include in the show notes so people can click on through nice and
Mhm.
easy. Yeah. All right,
Thank you.
Matthew, we're going to do our quick takes with you. I'm not going to keep you too much longer so you can get back to doing all of the things. These are the questions that we ask of all of our guests, so try not to think about it for too long.
Yeah.
First thing, what is the craziest styling request that you ever received from a celeb or client?
Uh, Recently, a client wanted me to put, it's a Japanese, like it looked like a deodorant stick, but it's like an oil, and I forget the name of it, but it has a specific scent. And she has used that scent in her hair her entire life, and she feels like it's part of herself. So she asked if I could put a little bit through the links and ends. And then after I finished her hair, as a little added bonus, she had one kind of money piece. I just took the tiniest little bit and put it along after it was styled, just so as it moved, she would get a little scent of it and it would make her feel comfortable.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound too crazy. That sounds
Not crazy,
really
but it
nice.
was the first time
yeah,
I've had that.
the
So
first.
I liked it. It wasn't
Yeah.
that crazy, but it was an interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Dope. Tell us about a go-to song, playlist, podcast, etc. You tell us that you listen to when you're working, or are you a silent type? Because some guests are like, I cannot listen to anything when I'm working, period. But some, have things to share.
If I could listen to anything while I'm styling hair, it would be Bon Iver. Anything from Bon Iver, I'm obsessed. It has like a great beat and everything. Living in LA and driving in traffic, I listen to audiobooks though. So on my way to my jobs, I'm always listening to spy novels. I love spy, espionage. It just takes me completely out of what I'm doing. It's not too gory. It's not anything. It's just like action packed, and it just like shuts off my mind for a little bit, and I get to kind of just enjoy and not stress about traffic.
Although it does sound a little bit like the work that you're doing with DYSON, with the lock boxes and the NDAs
for sure.
and all of that stuff. So it doesn't sound too far from your reality. What is a bucket list item that you most want to check off in the next 6 months?
6 months.
Is there a trip you want to take? Something you want to do?
To be weirdly enough, I think I want to have my first Muay Thai fight. I started Muay Thai a year ago.
Okay.
Randomly, there's a gym close to me, and I always like to do like some sort of like a gym itself bores me. I need to do some form of class or workshop, and I found Muay Thai out of total fluke. There's a great gym close to me, and I become obsessed with it. And now it's like my therapy. It's everything, and I just feel like I want to challenge myself and do a fight.
All right.
It's like totally something a year ago I never would have been on the list, but now it is.
All right. Well, if you want that, I want that for you. Let's make that happen. What is a current social media trend that you just don't understand?
The one that always makes me laugh is when we rename haircuts, the same haircut, a different name. It's like, how many names do we have for a shag or a pixie or a bronze, whatever blonde? It's like, let's just keep it caramel balayage, or like, I don't know, like a wolf cut, shag cut, like, and then the consumers can confuse. They're like, no, it's kind of all a shag.
Yeah.
It's just different lengths. It's like a pixie cut is a pixie cut. We don't need to change it to a bixie. It's, why are we making up these names? It's the same thing. It's confusing.
You are right. That'll be the clip for sure. Thank you. Thank you for that one. That was perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. Last question, Matthew. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Oh, unlimited supply of smash burgers.
Oh,
that was my favorite thing to eat. I love a smash burger. If it's the right smash burger, there's nothing I like better than a smash burger.
Perfect. Matthew, it was a pleasure getting to know you. I feel like I learned so much, particularly about the world of editorial and celebrity hairstyling, which you demystified a lot of it. Thank you so much for being here and telling us all about these DYSON products that people ought to be considering. And Scrungy, we wish you the best.
Thank you so much. It was so great to talk to you, Jeffrey.
All right, Jeff, you doubled down into some topics there, right?
We really get into it.
That was
He
really
was
cool.
so open.
Totally.
And I love
it.
When guests are like, look, let's talk about it. Let's go there.
Yeah.
It makes for a much better conversation. And he's done so many cool things. So
kudos to him. It takes a lot to mix it up, right? All right. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Otabache is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.